years ago, the notorious live-action adaptation of The Cat in the Hat was released. The film received an overwhelming negative response, with critics calling it tasteless, crude, and painfully unfunny. It received dozens of nominations for Worst Film, Worst Actor, Worst Comedy, pretty much every category imaginable. It received so much backlash that the wife of Dr. Seuss banned any live-action adaptations of his works from being made in the future. But I think The Cat in the Hat is undeserving of such harsh criticism. Critics painted the movie as cheap and thoughtless, a cash grab without substance, but I genuinely feel that this film is well thought out and smartly crafted. Honestly, when I first heard that the movie had such poor reviews, I was surprised. The Cat in the Hat is my favorite Dr. Seuss movie. Growing up, it was played in my house over and over to the point that we knew most of the script word for word, and plenty of other people feel the same way. Although I don't have the privilege of viewing this movie from an unbiased lens, I still think the film holds up today, even better than it did when I'd first seen it as a child.
That's our babysitter.
What the? Babysitter? You pay this woman to sit on babies? That's disgusting! I do it for nothing.
Humor is subjective. It's difficult to explain why something is funny. Either you like it or you don't, so if you don't find The Cat in the Hat funny, I understand. But personally, I find it hilarious. It's crude, zany, and insanely chaotic. The humor is direct and self-aware, with lots of fourth wall breaks, but it works well with the movie's over-the-top nature, helping to ground the crazy events that take place. The ridiculousness is heightened to the max, and the movie fully embraces the silliness.
You mean like at Universal Studios? Cha-ching.
The film is enjoyable to watch both as a kid and as an adult. There are many adult jokes in the movie, but they're delivered so well that I found them funny as a kid without even actually understanding them. Like this scene, where Conrad and Sally sign a contract. It's not necessarily an adult joke, but it is a grown-up concept. As a kid, I didn't understand what was going on or why they were signing a bunch of papers. I just found the overall zaniness of the scene funny.
Full initial here, and here, and here. Not here!
But rewatching it now, knowing the nuances of contracts, makes it even funnier. The characters' exaggerated antics are fun to watch, and many of the jokes feel ahead of its time. Though quotability doesn't necessarily make a movie good, there are so many quotable lines and memorable moments throughout the movie.
She was gonna wear that tonight and you ruined it.
Honey, it was ruined when she bought it.
It's more than just potty jokes, which are still pretty good in my opinion. It's great slapstick and a great blend of chaos and absurdity.
Anything for my little princess?
Oh, I don't want to be a princess. In a constitutional monarchy, Parliament has all the real power.
Each of the characters in The Cat in the Hat are standout. The actors' performances are entertaining, bringing each of the characters to life. Sally and Conrad, Lawrence Quinn, Joan Walden, even minor characters like Mrs. Kwan and Mr. Humberflube all have well-defined personalities. They all work well together to create fun dynamics. Sally's serious, rule-abiding nature is an excellent contrast to Conrad's recklessness, and they interact like believable siblings. Sally, Conrad, and the fish's reactions to the cat help highlight the absurdity of his hijinks. The movie also took the opportunity to flesh out the characters from the original story and put a creative spin on them, giving the siblings flaws and conflicts that tie into the plot of the movie. The film's interpretation of the cat is also interesting. He has the wacky, carefree aspects of his book counterpart, but is also incredibly crass, crude, and slightly horrifying.
That'd be me.
An interesting aspect of the cat is that he's not just silly for the sake of it, but is calculated in his actions. He's shown to be intentionally troublesome to help Conrad and Sally overcome their flaws and grow as people. It's hinted at very obviously throughout the movie, but I love the smaller, subtle moments, like in this scene, where Conrad realizes how much trouble his actions have caused, and the cat nods in approval in the background. Straightforward characters like Joan and Lawrence also help ground the film in reality, with Joan being arguably the only rational person in the movie, and Lawrence being a pretty formidable antagonist well before the cat even shows up. The distinct nature of each of the characters creates hilarious interactions and ties the whole movie together.
In the valley that stretches from this hill to that hill, a city is nestled.
The sets in The Cat in the Hat truly capture the storybook aesthetic. The pastel colors, cartoony patterns, and simplistic geometric buildings create a surreal world that looks visually appealing and feels alive. For the neighborhood shots, 24 houses were actually built and set up in a rural valley in California, while a street in Pomona was painted and redecorated for the downtown shots. The sky was also digitally replaced with a cartoon one since the location had too much smog. This combination of practical and visual effects adds to the surrealism, while still making the world feel real and lived in. The costumes complement the set perfectly. Everyone's outfits are bright and cartoony, matching the town's whimsical aesthetic. Some live-action adaptations err on the side of being too faithful to the source material. They give the characters the exact costumes they wore in the original, which makes it look more like expensive cosplay instead of actual clothes people would wear in that universe. The Cat in the Hat avoids this mistake by adapting the characters' appearances to fit in with their bright, bubbly environment. It strikes the right balance between cartoony and realistic. If Sally and Conrad had looked exactly like they did in the book, it would have created a different atmosphere entirely, and they wouldn't have fit into this world. Only the cat and the things look exactly the same as the book, which works in the context of this movie since they're otherworldly creatures.
Maestro!
The music in the film is also quite charming. It gives the movie a light-hearted, fantastical atmosphere, and helps direct the humor and mood of each scene. The soundtrack is so fundamental to the movie that much of the emotion stems from the score. It has a unique, eccentric sound to it, cementing the storybook feel of the movie.
We had some good times. We cleaned up the house. We even managed to work in an up-tempo pop tune for the soundtrack. That's important.
The Cat in the Hat received a lot of flack, but it is severely underrated. The film has a modern twist on the classic children's story. Although it is very different from the original, it's still a considerably faithful adaptation. Everything that happens in the book happens in the movie, almost line for line. It's a shame there won't be any other live-action adaptations, because I feel that both The Cat in the Hat and The Grinch are the best Dr. Seuss movie adaptations. The Cat in the Hat is criticized for being thoughtless and without substance, but the movie sends a poignant message and is even endearing at times. This scene, for instance, where Sally and Conrad decide to accept responsibility for destroying the house. It's a touching moment where it genuinely feels like the children have grown as people, ready to face any consequences that may come from their actions. The film is visually creative, the meta-humor is clever, and the movie as a whole is fun and lighthearted. I'm not saying that it's an Oscar-worthy movie, or that it's incredibly deep or anything, but it is a good movie, and maybe the critics are right in some ways. The Cat in the Hat is strange and coarse and nonsensical, but that's exactly what makes it worth watching it all.
Did you say anything? Anything. Anything. Yes, anything. 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 I'll get you, and I'll look like a bloody accident.
Thank you so much for watching. What do you think of the polarizing views on The Cat in the Hat? Of all the Dr. Seuss books, which would be best suited for live action? Let me know in the comments below.